Mr. President, the South African government at the outset wishes to state that it shares the concerns on the current situation in Iraq. The senseless and incalculable loss of innocent and precious lives of Iraqis has gone on for far too long. South Africa has always believed that there is no military solution to any armed conflict. The South African government condemns all forms and manifestations of terrorism. The relevant organs and bodies within the United Nations must be allowed to carry out their mandates in this regard. Mr. President, my delegation is concerned that the resolution intended for action by the HRC today lacks balance and does not take into account the historical context and all the factors attributable to the situation in Iraq. Even more worryingly, the resolution under consideration purports to avoid the just jargons of the international humanitarian law, namely that the HIL is a law of armed conflict. The constant reference in the resolution to phrases such as violence and attacks are inconsistent with fundamental tenets of IHL. It is not feasible to insist on respect for IHL while failing to recognize and acknowledge the armed conflict going on in Iraq. Mr. President, the references in the resolution to accountability and avoidance of impunity require further clarification. As it were, it is not clear to my delegation which authority will act as an implementation agent for enforcing accountability and impunity. Furthermore, the roles, responsibilities, and accountability of non-state actors with respect to codified international human rights law and humanitarian law requires even more clarification, particularly given the transnational character of the operations. Operative paragraph 3 and 8 presents more serious challenges for my delegation, especially in view of the fact that the relevant stakeholders, partners, and appropriate mechanism remain undefined. It is not known what enforcement mechanism they may have at their arsenal. All in all, this resolution is preemptive, full of duplications, contradictive, and very ambiguous. To this end, the essence of OP10 becomes extremely questionable, as the entire resolution preempts everything envisioned in OP10 of the resolution. Finally, Mr. President, my delegation is not in a position to support L1 in its current form and unnegotiated. For this reason, South Africa disassociates itself from consensus on this resolution. I thank you.